is still an in-baked expectation within market participants that at some point this year we are going to see a movement when it does come to yield curve control. But I suppose the opposite view is it necessary that much? Because when you look at even, say, some of the underlying Tankan data and you look at the CapEx expectations, you see a lot of smaller, medium businesses that previously were in the negative, they're looking in the positive in terms of what they want to do in 2023. So can you make a case that perhaps 2023 should be the year to keep everything stable?
Well, actually, two things should be separated. One is about the economy and the inflation outlook. What is, as you mentioned, we are still in the woods, not out of the woods, in terms of the 2% inflation target and also the economy. While economy is actually continue recovering, but at the same time, it is clouded by a lot of uncertainty, particularly possible recession in the US and other downside risks coming from abroad. So I think from a monetary policy point of view, there's no reason whatsoever for new governor to move any monetary policy for the rest of this year, probably well into next year. But that's one thing. Another thing is that about yield curve control. If any changes, if coming about yield curve control, should be regarded as a possible improvement of the monetary policy framework rather than changing the monetary policy itself. Because Mr. Ueda already recognized various problems associated with the yield curve control, and many people in the market and the business leaders also know that there's some problem in the yield curve control, like a dysfunction of the JGB, and also a challenge in communication about the monetary policy. So I think at some point it is still possible that Mr. Ueda will think about changing the YCC or even scrapping YCC altogether. But as far as today is concerned, he still stays away from any sending message about the change in the YCC.
I've got to ask you, because whether we see changes to YCC, whether we don't, the BOJ is still holding on to an incredible amount of the treasuries at hand. How do they fix that? Because it doesn't necessarily, we wouldn't necessarily expect that there's going to be all that much demand to take it off their hands, and at the same time, a lot of it is relatively long duration. So how do they solve for that problem?
Well, actually, changing the YCC or scrapping YCC doesn't change a big landscape of the monetary policy at all, as you mentioned. But it is also the truth that the BOJ is containing the long-term bond yield, 10-year JGB yield at 0.5%, and the probably I think shadow interest rate estimated from the overnight interest rate swap OIS is something around 0.6 to 0.7%. So if the BOJ scraps YCC, it is very likely that the 10-year bond yield is going to go up by 10 basis or 20 basis points. Doesn't mean much to the economy, but still the right interest rate is the right interest rate. And so it could actually jeopardize that the BOJ might be criticized by many people that changing the monetary policy, even it's only about YCC, is still premature at the time when the economy is still full of uncertainty.